Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Experience, the Targeted Individual Program. So, uh, a lot has happened. Okay, uh, last video I did, I showed you guys um, police showing up at my college that I just, decided to go back to get it, you know, further my education, and they showed up to try and intimidate me. But lately, one thing I haven't talked about, I mean, I guess I did, is the situation with me and Pam. But what I didn't talk about is certain things that was happening. Okay? So, for instance, um, over the past 2 months, um, maybe 2.5 months, she's just been acting very weird. Okay? And at times, I say to myself, when is it that she got compromised because of the things that she was doing? So, for instance, you know, I've been with this woman for 11 years, and she's very tired. Matter of fact, she's tired all the time. All right, and she keeps telling me that she has chronic fatigue syndrome because she's tired all the time and she wants to sleep. But the past 2.5 months, you know, when she come home from work, there are days during the week when she's like saying that she's working late or she's working late, and she gets home, she would be up all night. Okay, and she would be up till after 3 in the morning. One night I stayed over, and I woke up in the middle of the night. This is like probably like around 3 o'clock, you know, after 3 in the morning, and she was standing right next to me, over me, with her phone. I don't know if she was texting. I don't know what she was doing. But I woke up out of my sleep, and she dropped her phone and she left the bedroom. So she came back about a minute or two later, and I asked her, I said, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And she was like, "Just go back to sleep." Then there are other nights where, again, she'll come home. Like I said, normally every day she would come home tired as heck. She will go to sleep, or she'll ask me if I can stay for, you know, an hour and a half so she can get some rest before she can, you know, take care of the kids before they go to bed. So there are times, like I said, she come home and she's full of energy, full of energy. And I'm just like looking at her like, what's going on here? You know, then recently she comes in, singing, playing music loud on her phone. Now I'm just like, okay, this is a woman who love quietness. When she comes in the house, if the TV's on, the kids are on the tablet, she's complaining about it's too noisy. But yet she starts coming in the house playing music really loud. And I remember one night again that I stayed over, and I was in the bed getting ready to sleep, and she was playing music really, really loud. Now I was to do that, she'll bite my head off. She'll basically curse me out, right? So to see this 360 in terms of her behavior, and in terms of her coming home after the night before, staying up till 3 minutes to 4 in the morning, have to get up at minutes to 8 to go to work for 9, and then come home the next day, and she's full of energy. So something is going on. Now, one of the things of this program is that, if even though we're not together, but we were together for such a long time, is that they will try to either get you or your significant other hooked on drugs. Okay, I'm not saying that she's on drugs, but I'm just saying maybe it's a possibility because um, when she comes home at those particular time, she's full of energy. She can't go to sleep. Okay, it's like she's wired. Okay, you know something is wrong. Okay, and so when we go and let's go to some of the things that they do to you if you are targeted by these people is tactic 7, right? So where it talks about here, it says that your failure to adapt to the consequent behavior will lead to severe punishment or dire consequences such as physical or mental illness, the reappearance of a prior physical illness, drug dependence, economic collapse, right? Drug dependence, okay? Economic collapse, social failure, divorce, disintegration, failure to find a mate, etc. Now, I've been noticing lately that when we go out, or when I'm with her, that they will send a particular looking type of woman, young woman, okay? Uh, Slender, long hair, okay? And will stare at Pam, okay? Then also, I remember one time driving her to work, and there were these two white police officers standing at the corner where, you know, I usually drive to take her to work. Never seen that before. And when they saw us, she was looking directly at them, and they were looking directly at her. And I thought that was strange. So I was, I keep saying to myself, the way how she's been behaving, like, when did they get to her and compromise her in such a way that she's targeting me in a very specific way now, right? So now she's again uh, using the palm of the hand fixation drill, but she's doing it in a very particular way. For example, if I go into the bedroom, she's laying in the bed, she will stretch, right? And when she stretches, okay, or she yawns, instead of yawning like this, she yawn like this, okay? And then she'll constantly put her hands on the pillows like this. So if I'm laying down, just like how my hands are, my palm is out, this is how I should be laid down, right? On top of that, if I make a comment, like if I say, hey, your booty looking good in those pants, she will do the hand fixation drill, right? So she'll put her hands behind her back on her butt with her palm outwards. So again, in a very particular way, they've had her targeted me, right? And just certain things just start happening. For example, now she comes in the house. If she puts her phone down, her phone is lying face down. If she goes to the bathroom, she'll take her phone and her iPad. She has an iPhone and an iPad in the bathroom. If she's taking a shower, she'll take her phone and iPad in the bathroom. Now, normally before this behavior started happening, she will only take her iPad. If she has to use the bathroom or she has to take a bath or what have you, she will use her iPad. Now she's taking both her phone and her iPad. If she goes into the kitchen, she'll take both her phone and her iPad. And so the other day I kept asking, I said, why do you always put your phone facing down? You know, and she didn't really give me an answer. So I knew something was up. So one morning, she was in the bathroom. She left her phone in the bathroom, in the bedroom, and I went to iron the kids' clothes. Okay. Now, even though I stay over here, we're not intimate or anything like that because the situation between us. But she had left her phone on her bed, and I saw a text alert, and the text alert had the initials MB. So I'm like, why is she using initials? Why not use the name of the person? Because every number she has in her phone either has the first name of the person or the first and last name. So for this particular individual, she puts MB. So, again, being a TI, when people start targeting you in a very particular way where you're like, well, okay, I know now this person has been compromised. So you're going to try to look for proof or, if anything, to see what messages are being sent to them to tell them what to do when it comes to targeting you. So I end up finding MB and the number associated with those initials. And so when I did a search online of that number, okay, this shows up. Okay, the name Michael Bulger, MB. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you. Let me just show you guys this, because and again, so this is a picture that I took of her contact. You see the initial MB, and this is the phone number, same one you see here on the US phone book, and then the email mbulger007@gmail.com. And again, this is going to be key here, and again, this is just my speculation and what I believe is going on. Okay, so MB, all right, again, she's been turning her phone face down. And like I said, she's been recently getting text messages back and forth from this particular individual who she has uh, on her phone with the initial MB. Now, every other person in her contact has a name except for this individual with the initial MB. So I'm saying to myself, okay, why is she being so secretive, right? Why is she turning her phone face down when I come in the house, right? And every time I go into the bedroom, if her phone is up, she'll turn it face down. Okay, so with those types of behavior, again, you start to wonder like what's going on. Now, mind you, we're not together, so there is no need for her to behave in a manner, but obviously she's trying to keep something a secret from me. So, I don't know. But then again, when stuff like that happening, if you know somebody, if you was in a relationship with them, and you see them do these kind of things, you're still gonna wonder like what the hell they're hiding. Are they trying to hide, right? So anyway, so I did a search of the number, and the number comes associated with this individual called Michael Bulger, or Michael E. Bulger. You'll see in the bottom here, Staten Island, New York, and these are relatives. So I said to myself, okay, let me see if this person has a Facebook page, right? So, you know, I was like, okay, I went to Facebook, and again, and let me just be clear, okay? I don't care if she's, you know, talking to anybody, sleeping with anybody. I don't care. But the fact is that if you're going to be acting sneaky and doing these things when I'm around, then to me it's like, what are you hiding? Okay? Because, I don't act like that when I'm around her. I don't turn my phone over. I don't hide my phone. If I got to go to the bathroom and I have my phone and my tablet, I don't take both of them with me like I'm trying to hide something, like I don't want her to see something. You know, I'm not. I don't do that. Okay, regardless of the fact whether we're together or not, I'm not going to do that because. And I said to her, even though we're not in a relationship, you know, you said that you want us to be friends, right? Well, if you want us to be friends and you act in the same way when we were in a relationship as now that we are friends, then how can we be friends, right? Because you cannot be friends with somebody who is deceitful, being secretive, and hiding shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you feel you need to hide things from me, then, you know, why do you want to be my friend? Okay? So, anyway, I went to Facebook and I said, okay, let me, you know, search the name. Nothing came up. And then I started searching the relative name that also live in Staten Island. All these people, Gary M. Bulger, Irvin L. Bulger, Staten Island, Staten Island. Okay? So this person, uh, again, had no Facebook, um, you know, profile. So I'm like, okay, what's really going on here? So I started doing Facebook on the other relatives, right? And interesting. So let's go to. Uh, okay, it's not there. Let's do that. Let's go to Facebook. And let's go. Let's do this. Okay. And okay, so here's a Gary Bulger. Okay, this is him. And it's interesting too, because when I went on there and I saw him with the water bottle in his hand, because lately, within the past couple weeks, a lot. I know it's summertime, it's hot, but I see a lot of people walking with water bottles more so than usual in their hands. Okay, they're not drinking it; they just have it in their hand. And again, when you start to see the repetitiveness, the frequency of people doing holding certain things, when you see it more so than ever, it's a form of conditioning, right? And so, and on top of that, you find yourself being fixated on it. You're being conditioned. So there's a Gary Bulger. Okay. Now you don't see anything else here except for this picture of this individual, right? Then you'll see other relatives. And mind you, all of the Bulgers are all friends with each other, right? So if you go to any one of their web page, you will see that they are friends with each other. But there is no Michael Bulger. So I'm like, okay, I need to start looking at the pictures. So I said, okay, I think I had clicked on this individual, and then I looked and I saw the police department of New York. So I said, okay, that's interested. Let's go look at the picture, right? So here is his background page, and this must be the person that's 86 years old, which would be Irvin, right? Okay, so things start getting interesting. right? Things start really getting interesting. Okay, let's go back to here. All right, so and I'm like, okay, what's going on here, right? What is going on here? Scroll down, and then I saw this. Okay, this guy is a New York City police officer, right? All right. Then I went to uh, where is the other one? Okay, let's go back up. All right, and let's go back to the friends, and I said, okay, there's a Madison Bulger. Let's go. I go. Let's look at the pictures. There we go. And then I saw this. Okay, she's like, I stand behind the heroes who protect this line, the blue wall of silence, right? So I'm saying to myself, okay, these people, okay, this family have a lot of police officers, police sympathizers, police supporters, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we know these Staten Island cops, particularly these white Staten Island cops, and how they view and treat black people, particularly black men. Okay, and the fact that in my targeting, as I've shown, I've been the target of certain members of the NYPD. Okay, and I've shown you the video in which I'm going to show you again, where I went to, to my school because I'm trying to register to go back to school, and they're trying to prevent that, so they tried to intimidate me. So I'm thinking that this guy, Michael Bulger, okay, is one of these cops who is actively engaged in my targeting, in my invasion of privacy, and basically invasion of my rights and conspiracy against my rights. But he doesn't have a profile. So I'm like, okay, is he a cop? Is he an undercover police officer? Okay, or is he retired? Right? Because the name shows up, right? And you go to the web to Facebook. Again, you start looking at the relatives, and there was another person. Let's see here. Is it this one? No. Okay, there was another person. Okay, here we go. So this individual, I guess, is dating. And again, so this person, again, this is a picture of him. So he's a retired New York City cop or transit cop or what have you. So again, these people are all in law enforcement, right? Or had been in law enforcement. Okay. So if you look at the person that he's with, again, Bulger, right? Okay. So at this point, I'm like, okay, did they go to Pamela? Okay. And was she compromised? And how was she compromised that she is now actively engaged in targeting me? Whereas before, I was trying to figure out whether she's doing it because of the technology, the mind control technology. But now, for sure and certainty, I know that she is consciously aware of what's happening to me, and she's actively participating in psychological torture and harassment. Because also, like I said, whenever I sleep over her, she stays up late. Then I wake up in the middle of the night and she's over me. She's on her phone or what have you, and she's right next to me. So she's not like, you know, on her side of the bed, or she's not in the kitchen or somewhere else in the house. She's standing right over me. So I'm like, what is she doing? Is she taking my pictures? Or what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's doing. Okay. All I know is that I cannot sleep over here anymore. And so she's visiting her parents in Texas now. When she gets back, I'm gonna have to sit with her and let her know that, hey, I'm not sleeping over here anymore. Your behavior has been quite weird and quite troubling to me. And, there's just certain things that, I'm just not comfortable. So I won't be sleeping over here anymore. But, you know, excuse me. Yeah, I need some water. But it's interesting, okay? Being a target, knowing that you are harassed by members of the police department, whatever state or city you live in. Me, it's New York, so it's the NYPD. And I show videos of this, okay? Then to find out that the mother of your children, okay, is possibly, speaking with this individual who may be a retired cop or an active duty cop, all right? And that's the reason why she's been acting so strange, okay? On top of that, like I said, there have been situations where I'm driving with her and there'll be police officers parked up, standing outside of their vehicle on the corner, staring at her. And she's staring right back at them. Okay? So when did she become so compromised? Also, I know that my daughter just told me, 'cause my daughter just spilled the tea when it comes to her. And my daughter was like, Mommy got a lot of money and we're supposed to be moving into our new house. Now, I know she said that, you know, she was looking for us, anything like that, where she did not include me, which is fine. And, but she never mentioned to me that she was close to, you know, getting a house, right? Now, mind you, this is a woman who tells me, oh, I don't have any money, but she'll go buy a Gucci belt for um, almost $800. She go buy Gucci sunglasses for who knows how much, okay? And when I tell her, listen, I don't want to be here because of our situation, get a babysitter, she tells me she can't afford a babysitter, okay? Right? Now, again, I buy the majority of the children's clothes. I buy them their toys or what have you and such. I'm on disability, so I try to do what I can. Okay, she's the registered nurse. She's the coordinator at um, for the pulmonary department at uh, Methodist Hospital. Okay, in Park Slope, right? And I didn't tell her this, but I know how much she makes, and she makes close to six figures, right? But yet she tells me, "Oh, I don't have any money. I can't afford a babysitter." Yes, you can. She just doesn't want to. Now, the fact that I watch the kids, I was fine with that. She can save her money to get her house. I was okay with that. What I'm not okay with is that, you know, because of the situation now between us and me telling you, hey, I don't want to be here because, you know, my feelings for you and what I'm saying, and everything that has happened, that it's better for me to just, you know, I'll, I'll watch the kids till you get home and then I leave, right? And we had agreed on that, okay? But then after the next day, she's like, "Oh, can you stay a little bit? I'm so tired. I need to get some sleep, and then I'll get up, whatever." And then she ended up sleeping the whole night, right? And I have to end up taking care of the kids. What I'm saying? When I'm supposed to be going home. And when I do leave, it's like minutes to 11, after 10. What I'm saying? And if I'm driving, right, it takes me hour and a half to 2 hours to get parking. But she doesn't see that, right? So anyway, let's get back to this individual here, right? So, just from what I can dig up, I can tell that this person probably was in law enforcement. Okay, and this is the address, and also, so here is the house, right? This is the address of this Michael E. Bulger, right? Staten Island, okay, 221 Gura Street, Gura Street, okay, and let's look at a photo of the house, okay. So this is the individual's house, the current address of Michael Bulger, okay. So this is getting pretty interesting, to say the least. And I don't know if I'm onto something or not, but I know this is pretty, you know, at this point, I'm just like, okay, what else is going on? So this is Pamela, the mother of my two children, okay? And you would think, right? See all these pictures and everything like that, okay? You see I'm in some of them, right? And mind you, some of this is not that long ago. I mean, this is actually this was like 2 years ago on top here, right here. Okay, this was like 2 years ago. My daughter graduating from pre-K. Okay, and so, but you don't see any recent picture of that because we've been having an issue and stuff like that, and with my targeting and everything like that, right? And you think she would be more sympathetic and understanding when I tell her that I'm in a coercive persuasion program, okay, and this is what's being done, okay, and that's why over the years we constantly having fights and stuff like that, not fights but arguments, because again, they were using the technology to um, target me, using it on her and the kids to target me, and I would accuse her of targeting me. She would get upset, you know, and such, and say she's not doing nothing, what have you. Okay, and again, this was very, very hard. It was difficult. We had a pretty, we had good times, but there are times with the talking and stuff when I had to leave because I said to her, I don't want to get into an argument. I just want to go home, just take the night to reset, relax, clear my head, and I'm back the next day. And it has always been like that, right? And I said to her, I said, you never understand when I told you what was happening to me. When you tell me that you didn't believe me and such, I told her, I said, that really hurt my feeling. Because imagine something happened to you and then I turn around and tell you, I don't believe you. And she still don't really believe me. And I now thinking back on all of this stuff, I'm saying to myself, was she compromised then? Was she compromised then? Okay, because here now, okay, with this individual, MB, again, and I got the number, found the name, got the address, and I remember her one night. She said that she had dinner with the reps from her. It's for her job, so she said she had dinner with these reps, right? These so-called reps from the pharmaceuticals. Okay, and she had said she got a ride from one of the reps, and I said, why are you taking rides from people you don't know? And she was like, well, he's one of the reps, and he's like, he lives in Staten Island with a teenage daughter. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, he's also married. I said, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Because obviously, if they're texting each other, if this is the individual and he's married and they're texting each other or whatever, and she's being secretive about it, you know what I'm saying? Then again, like I said, the fact that he's married, you know, don't mean nothing. And Pamela is very gullible. She's very impressionable when it comes to people, particularly when it comes to Caucasian people. Okay, and a lot of black people are like that. Okay, and whenever I talk about you know black history and you know real black history, not the watered down shit they teach you in the School of America, but real black history, right? From Kemet to Nubia to the Igbo people to Ethiopia, black civilization, which is, you know, the very first civilization to build, create many things from spiritual belief system, architectural design, from the pyramids, from the designing of columns in which Europeans want to claim that Rome is the creators of these so-called columns. No, it was Egyptians, right? Black Egyptians, black uh, um, Chemians, right? The black Kemetic people, okay? Before Kemet was changed to Egypt. Whenever I talk about issues affecting black people, she says, I'm talking negative and all this stuff, and she doesn't want to hear it, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? Because she's very impressionable. Okay? And she has a friend who, you know, she looks up to, and her friend got a divorce, and she see her friend having this new lover, going on all these trips and stuff like that, and that's what she wants to. And I keep telling her, you cannot look at other people's relationship and try to emulate them. You have your relationship, work on your relationship, getting to that point. Okay? And just talking to her, and she'll tell me, what I feel like sometimes you're trying to parent me. I said, I'm not trying to parent you. And if you think that way, it's because your lack of maturity. Okay, you're 43 years old, but your mind is like a 20-something-year-old woman, a young 20-something-year-old woman. You're very gullible, very impressionable. People that have titles, you know, you you know Google and R, and you know what I'm saying. Those things don't impress me. Okay, because as much talents as people may have, they can be really nasty, disgusting people. Okay, and you having a title don't mean that I'm going to kiss your ass or respect you because you have a title. I respect you as a human being, and then I will not respect you if I get to know you and see that you're not a respectable person, a good person, or what have you. But I'm not going to respect you because you have a title. If I'm working at the same job I'm working on you, I'll respect you. But outside of that, I won't respect you because of your title. I respect you because you're a human being. And that's the thing. People, respect people based on their title, right? Not on their humanity. All right. So, we got it backwards. Okay. You respect someone based on their humanity, not on their title. Okay. That's my belief. Now, if you're married, of course you're gonna respect married people, older people. You respect them, what have you. But if a person is a doctor, I respect his knowledge, his or her knowledge, being a doctor. Now, if there are racist or nasty in a certain way, then I won't respect you as a doctor or as a human being, and I'll find another doctor that I can go to. Right? So those things don't have, an impression on me in which where I'm just like in R or what have you. Okay, Pam is like, and I try to tell her, hey, you need to look at people, right? Instead of looking at their title, look at how they treat people or how they treat you. Okay, don't try to be all up in their space. Okay, and then be oblivious when it comes to seeing that they don't want you there. Okay, understand that. But a lot of black people, we have our blinders on and we get in front of people who are doctors or lawyers or what have you, or who are white with money, and oh, we want to be in this circle so bad. We want to be in this circle so bad, right? And we don't see that those same people don't have any respect for us. For example, I think I posted this. Let me go to my Facebook page. I posted about this doctor. Scroll down here. Who's this? Okay, that's this. Um, Scroll down. Let's see. Here we go. So this is a doctor, right? The white supremacist ER doctor admits his hatred for black, Jews, Latino, and other. And this is not new, you know, but someone outed him, okay? And then he had the nerve to say he's not racist. Now, I'm not going to play this. You guys can, you know, go on YouTube and watch it. But it's interesting because you have a lot of our people, black people, who they work in hospitals, you know, and they, especially black women, they're in R and they go googly eyes over these young white doctors, right? Not understanding that these doctors, if you look at how they treat their black patient or patients of color compared to how they treat the white patient, and they can't see it, right? Because they're so caught up in this, this love affair, right, with these doctors because the fact that they're white and they're doctors, right? And so we have to understand the poisonous mentality that a lot of us have because we've been conditioned that way. We've been brainwashed that way, right? And so, I don't want to, like I said, go to, much on this because I'm speaking about this stuff right here, which is very interesting to me. And the fact that this individual, and like I said, I have no problem with her dating a white person. I mean, it's her decision. You know what I'm saying? To me, love has no color. But if you're gonna love someone, make sure the person that you love, who is white, is not a racist. Okay, and doesn't hate black people, particularly black men, because we all know a lot of white police officers, they'll screw a black woman. Okay, they'll screw a black woman and they'll go out and they arrest that black woman's son, or they will try to use the threat of arresting that black woman's son in exchange for sexual favors. And again, I'm not making this up. So my thing is, like I said, it's like, when did she become compromised? Right? When did she become compromised? Also, has she been lying to me when she says that she's had, having dinner with a company rep, or is she having dinner with this person? Okay? Or is this person a pharmaceutical rep? I don't, I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know from uh, the people that are his relative, that you have police officers, you have ex-police officers, okay, you have police supporters. When you see white people talking about, I support this and the blue line, okay, and again, you're a police officer, you're supposed to support each other, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But we all know when it comes to these white police officers that live on Staten Island, okay, you read about the Eric Garner situation in which he got killed, by a chokehold by these by the so-called police officer, right? Staten Island, okay. And the fact that I've told Pam that I'm being targeted by members of the NYPD. So why would she, in turn, right, be in communication with someone who either is a police officer, a retired police officer, or and that whole I don't know, maybe she's trying to get back at me, but get back at me for what? You know what I'm saying? I haven't cheated on her, I haven't disrespected her, I've always been there for her. There are times, very few times, when I go home because again my targeting and they're using her and the kids to target me, and I need to clear my head. You know what I'm saying? So I go home for the night and come back the next day, pick the kids up, to help them do their homework and do all that, cook, clean, what have you. Okay. And so now that I've decided to go back to school, you see police officers showing up at my school. Okay. So let's go to, and I showed this video already, but I feel it's only right that I show it again. All right. And this happens right after Pamela called me. Remember, my previous videos, I talked about how that every time I call her or she calls me, immediately afterwards, there's police sirens, right? Every time I go into the bedroom, when she's here, I hear police sirens. So immediately after she called me, me and the kids were just finished eating lunch in the lunchroom of, cause the school is New York City Technical College, downtown Brooklyn, and we're leaving, and you hear these cops. Okay. So is this, like I said, this is the shit that they do, right? This is, again, the intimidation tactic that they use. Okay. This is what they do. All right. Because you see, let's go back again. And like I said, when they saw me, this first one here, over here on the right, he walked over first. Then as I approach, the second one walks over. See, he looks at me, and he walks over. And now the third one, now you see the guy right here sticking his finger in his ears. Okay? And then the third one, he walks right side of me. So guess what? So I can see his weapon, right? So check this out. The other two, okay, you don't see their weapon. You don't see their weapon, right? Look, you don't see their weapon, right? Well, this one does, but when he walks across, you can see his weapon. And then you have this one here now, as he walks across, so intimidation. Okay, right. Then again, and they don't stop. Once I posted this video, they kind of like they were quiet for like a probably 2 days or so. All right, and then they started back with the BS again. So here I am at night. I'm leaving. I had left Pam driving home, and I saw the police lights flashing. I was 2 blocks away. when I saw it, and I started noticing people wearing a lot of red walking around. So I said, you know what? Let me record because I know they're gonna either drive off as I get near or make a U-turn, right? Okay, let's mute this because I want to get a copyright strike. So here's a person, red shirt, red hat. Okay, the light changes. All right, and this is what they were doing. They were having people walk in front of the car at the intersection wearing red. Okay, and then they also have people stationed on the side. You see, he's wearing red and he's looking up. All right. Okay, that's it. Let's see if I can. Let's go back slightly and let's adjust the color. Okay, let's do that. Let's go. I don't want it to be too bright. All right, something that's good. Okay. See him in the red, looking up. All right, and like I said, I saw the police vehicle there, and you know, listen, he could have made a U-turn at any time. But like I said, you guys will see in my videos, they will what they will do is that they'll wait till I get close, then they'll drive off, or they'll make a U-turn, or they'll get out their vehicle, or they'll open their door, or what have you. That's the type of stuff that they do, right? So you see as I got getting close, you'll see all of a sudden now he's gonna make the U-turn. Okay. All right, let's just all right. So okay. So now you'll see this vehicle in front here, the lights flashing, and when the way how he was parked up, LYN 3133. Okay, and again you'll see as I approach, he opens his door. Okay, all right. So let's skip past some of this stuff. Again, I'm approaching the intersection to turn, and you see the police vehicle again, lights flashing, and the video stopped, and I didn't realize that it ended. So uh, that's what happened there. So I didn't get to record as I got closer. But yeah, but sure enough, as I got closer, the police officer stepped out of the vehicle. Right, so you can see the vehicle was parked up there all this time. But as I got close to the light, at the light change, immediately as I reached that intersection, he got out of that vehicle though. But this is the stuff that they do, right? And even here we talk about uh, let's go here, the hidden evil. Okay, let's go back up. I was reading this earlier. Okay, and it says, although Also noted an article which appeared in the Chicago Sun-Times in May of 1998 entitled "Families of Spies on the Run," which described an unknown number of entire families who are citizen informants. They are ordinary citizens who, for reasons ranging from petty revenge to pure patriotism, agree to work with the Bureau, stated the Times. The article revealed that these families work with the FBI, DEA, CIA, RCMP, as well as local law enforcement because this is a lifestyle they have known almost since their birth. The children rarely complain, they wrote. Due to the number of youths participating, there might be a broad recruitment program designed specifically for them, probably offered in schools. In 2000 and 2001, University Wire ran articles such as Boston U adopts Crime Watch program and police enlist Ohio State University students in war on crime. The Atlanta Journal Constitution published articles in 2001 entitled "School Police Enlist Aides of Students in New Crime Watch" and student-led crime watch on duty at high school. Students Keep the Peace appeared in an October 2000 issue of the Sarasota Herald Tribune. Some of these policy and groups are restricted to school ground while others are not. Similarly, children were recruited as IMs in East Germany while at school. The organization which appears to the central point of recruitment for youths is Youth Crime Watch, YCW, which is international in scope. It is partnered with the Citizen Corp National Neighborhood Watch Program. The youth work with adults to patrol the streets, fighting crime and terrorism. Schools are used as recruitment grounds for students with grammar school up to the university level. In addition to being used to carry out some of the standard tactics, the use of children may also be intended to discuss TIs. Most of these parents seem to exhibit no disgrace, which leads me to conclude that they believe it is necessary. On multiple occasions, I have noticed children being used on skits, which were obviously intended to convey sexual innuendos. Now, I said this before on my talk show many times. When I used to go out for lunch, and I would go to like a Wendy's or a Burger King or a McDonald's, and I used to go to lunch around 3 o'clock because I work from 12 to 8 or 12 to 9 actually. And I'll go into these fast food restaurants, and these teenage girls will come. They stand in front of me, and they'll bend over, lay on the table with their stomach on the table, and their butt, facing towards me, right? And they would do this all the time, or they will come over to me and try to talk to me, try to engage in conversation, and I would just ignore them. Okay, so this is the type of stuff that they do. All right. So nations of stalkers. Most of the Citizens Informant Program previously mentioned are now organized under a National Neighborhood Watch Program known as USA on Watch. USA on Watch is the face of the National Neighborhood Watch Program, declared the Citizen Corps website. It is managed by the National Sheriff Association and Department of Justice. The National Neighborhood Watch Program has existed since the late 1960s. This helps to explain reports of people being gang stalked by citizens since the early 1980s. The National Neighborhood Watch Program, an initiative of NSA, has been one of the most effective ways for citizens to become involved with law enforcement for the protection of our neighborhoods. Neighborhood Watch is now part of Citizen Corps, which is run by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, under the Department of Homeland Security, DHS. So, in essence, USA on Watch is a DHS program. This means FEMA, DHS, the FBI, and local police are working directly with the states and local government to coordinate these operations. Again, we find another parallel to the Russian and East German dictatorship. The NSA exclaimed, "The Neighborhood Watch is homeland security at the most local level." It was created to empower citizens to become directly involved with Neighborhood Watch for the purpose of homeland security. Its targets, according to the NSA, are criminals and domestic terrorists. What else would the East German IMS do besides inform? Markus Wolf, a former East German executive Stasi officer, said that targeted people were surrounded by large numbers of citizens who literally encircled their every movement. According to Wolf, the residences of these people were put under siege, and even family members and visitors were kept under close observation. Even some East German politicians were surrounded by unofficial informants for the Stasi, proclaimed Mary Fulbrook in her book, The People States. The book Stasiland revealed a similar scenarios where targeted people were gang stalked by a network of IMS on a daily basis. This was done using a rotation of citizens who would follow them from the moment they left their home until they returned. Those who were attacked said the purpose was to intimidate them. In 1974, the former deputy director of the CIA, Ray S. Klein, drafted a report published by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, at Georgetown University called Understanding the Slovenism Affair, Dissidence and Its Control in the USSR. It stated that the Committee for State Security, KGB, functioned through a vast network of secret police and citizens informant, which literally every reach literally into every crevice of society. This would include workplace, grammar schools, universities, business, restaurants, apartment buildings, etc. Literally everywhere. The network served as the basic purpose of instilling fear. Targeted people attest that a variety of local and state vehicles are being used to stalk them. Restaurants and retail stores are also involved. Employees, clerks, and/or managers of these establishments participates. If official publications are alerting us on a massive recruitment process, then what they are doing behind the scenes is probably more expensive. All of these informant programs are sponsored by the Department of Homeland Security. Interestingly, in East Germany, citizens who gang-stalked TIs operated on behalf of the of the Ministry for State Security, the MFS. In Russia, they worked for the Comité, I can't even pronounce that name, Committee for State Security, also known as the KGB. In Czechoslovakia, it was the Czechoslovak State Security, STB. Because these harassment programs involve a coordinated effort between federal, state, and local governments, logic would suggest that the chief of police, city mayor, and governor of the state must be aware of it. The program involved the use of too many resources for them not to be. It wouldn't operate, it can't operate without their knowledge. To my knowledge, at this time, no one has openly admitted to being part of this program. Targeted people have been stonewalled when confronting their tormentors in public. In Russia, the state emphasized the need for total secrecy when recruiting people into the citizen brigade. When they were recruited in East Germany, they agreed to a code of secrecy which state that they would not mention anything about their connection with the MFS. Okay, so I'm going to just end this reading right here. And we're all right. So, which I'm going to do just a quick recap. So, again, you know, Pam started acting very weird and very strange, and started, you know, turning her phone over when I'm in the house. So she has her phone in the living room. She'll turn it with the face down. If she in her bed and I walk in, she'll turn her phone face down, right? So again, I'm very, like what's going on, and I ask her about it. She didn't say anything, and so like I said, I saw a text alert from an MB. So I'm like, why is she? Why is this person? Why is she using initials? Because everybody in her contact has a name, if not their first name, their first and their last. So now she starts to do these initials, right? MB. So, like I said, just been observing the way how she's been acting, the way how she's behaving. Staying up late at night when she has to go to work for 9 in the morning. I'll wake up in the middle of the night. She'll be standing over me with her phone in her hand, and when I woke up, she puts her phone down and she walks out of the bedroom. Then she comes back in the middle later, and I said, "Why are you still up? Is everything okay?" And then she's like, "Go back to bed." Right? So she is up to something, right? Or something is totally, you know, happening that she doesn't want me to know about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, if that's the case, then when I tell you, listen, get a babysitter. I can't stay here because when I stay here, all of a sudden, oh, can you stay and watch the kids with me because I have dinner with, you know, for my job with the pharmaceutical reps or something, right? And I said to her, well, why don't you get a babysitter? Well, I got to clean my place and, you know, it's going to take time. Now, she's been saying this for years, okay? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, you got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that, she's doing all of this, very manipulative, by the way. So whether, she's doing it on her own, uh, her own consciousness or conscious state, or whether she's been influenced, whether she's been compromised in such a way that they're using her against me, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's just something that, I guess I don't know about. So, but what I do know is that when I went into her contacts and I got the number as well as the email, and you see it says mbalger007 at gmail.com. I'm like, 007, this guy think he's a secret agent? So I'm starting to think, well, maybe he's an undercover cop, right? Maybe he works in narcotics or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Who knows, right? But the fact that there is no Facebook or, social media account or page with a Michael E. Bulger, but there is one for all of his family, right? All the relatives, and they all are friends with each other, but there's no Michael E. Bulger. So again, like I said, it might be a undercover police officer. Okay, it could be the reason why these police officers are now showing up at my school, trying to directly intimidate me immediately after she calls me. Then on top of that, today I drove her to the airport. On the way back, right before she called me. Um, Let me see if I can play the. Right before she called me, there's a police vehicle that came. I was on a two-way street. This police vehicle drove down on the opposite side where the traffic is oncoming. Sirens loud blazing. Okay, and passed me, turn, and then turn off your sirens. So let me see if I can hear this. So it may not be. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. It might be very low. Okay, and this was right after she called me. Okay, so let's play it again. You hear that? It's very low. Okay, and again, this is right after she called me, because she called me twice. Okay, also this app that I use to record my calls, because like I said, sometimes they use the technology on them to control them to say certain things to me. So I bought this app that makes you record your call. All of a sudden, lately, it stopped recording my call. Right. On top of that, um, when it did record them, I can only hear my voice. I can't hear the other person's voice on the end of the line, on the other line. Right now, if you go through my videos, you'll see I've played recordings from this app before, and it was fine. You can hear my voice, you can hear the other person, the end of the line voice also. Recently, because they've been targeting me heavily and using her, whenever I call her or she calls me, the app won't record. Okay, so now I got it to the point where it's recording again, but now you can't hear the other person's voice on the other end of the call, right? So they are constantly doing things again to hide what they're doing, and this is continuously. This never stops. Okay, so don't be fooled thinking that if I don't do a video in a week or two that my targeting stops. My targeting will never stops. Okay, as you guys know, if you're a targeted individual, you're in this for the rest of your life. Okay, this is constant harassment on a daily basis, and this is what they're doing. So again, and then like I said, these cops start showing up to my school trying to intimidate me. Okay, and they're using a very heavy-handed tactics. One which I've seen before when me and my oldest my oldest son, his mother, when we broke up and we were in court, you know, uh, in family court. Okay, where I was approached by two court officers, a black guy and a white woman, and he walked up to me, both of them, and he was like, "Leave her alone." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Right? And then they turned around, jingling their keys, and they walked off. Okay. Now, mind you, you know, we had broken up, so I wasn't, we were at a stage where we wasn't talking to each other. Okay. And then I think about a year after that, we started talking again, right? See if we could get back together. But then one night I called her and her phone turned on. Now I don't know if she did it on purpose or not, but her phone turned on and I heard her talking to someone. She was out on a date. She was having dinner with someone. She was having a good time. But when I call her the next day and asked her, I said, "Hey, what did you do last night?" And she said to me, "Oh, I just stayed in the house and I went to sleep." But I already knew, you know. So I told her, and that was it. I was like, that was it. It was over. It was done. Wasn't going to get back with her again. So I feel like they're trying to do the same thing with Pam now. Okay, because I know, um, Bryce's mom, my eldest son, his mother back then, um, she was compromised. Okay, they compromise her. They definitely compromise her, without a doubt. And so now they're doing the same thing with Pam. Now the thing, like I said, is like, how was she compromised? How was she compromised? What did they do to compromise her? Okay, what did they do to compromise her? Right? And she, of course, she's not going to tell me. But I'm putting this video out there for my safety because these people will try to set you up. Okay, and this is something that you know they've been doing. Also, one night she came to bed. She was wearing a nightgown. She didn't have any underwear on, right? And I was like, what is she up to? Okay. And so I just went to bed. I didn't try to, because again, they're looking to use her against me. Okay. And who knows, that night, if I had taken that bait, you know, she might say that, well, you know, whatever, try to say that I raped her or sexually assaulted her or something like that, and I didn't want any part of it. It was like, you know what? I've seen this before. It didn't work then. It's not going to work now. Okay? But this is what they're doing. So, like I said, I don't know if this individual is a police officer or not, retired or on duty, whatever. I don't care. The fact is that she has been compromised and they're using her against me. Okay? So, what did they do to compromise her? And we all know these people, how they operate, right? They'll try to set you up, they'll try to have you commit a crime, or they may, you know, get you hooked on drugs, you know, arrest you and say, hey, you know what, we want you to work for us. We want to recruit you as a citizen informant, and if you join us, we won't arrest you or we won't press charges and such and such. I'm not saying that's the case with her, you know. I'm not saying it is also, but it's a possibility because I now believe that she has been compromised and is being directly used against me. Okay? So remember this number. I don't want you guys calling this number and leave any kind of nasty messages or anything like that. Remember this name, remember this number. Anything happens to me, remember this name, remember this number. Also, remember this address. Where is it at? Okay? Remember this address. There you go. Okay? I want you guys to remember that. If anything happens to me, remember this name, remember this number, remember this address. Okay? Here's a little summary of this individual. Okay? So we know he's married. He's a Christian. He's Caucasian. Drive. Well, that's not right because there's a Lexus parked up in the driveway. If you look, uh, we go to here. Let's go. Let's zoom in. It's too far. Okay, there you go. There's a Lexus in that driveway. Okay. And so this just seems too weird for me. The fact that, you know, a lot of my targeting are white police officers, white male police officers. Now all of a sudden, you know, my kid's mother, Pamela, who's been in a relationship for 11 years, all of a sudden, you know, starts to do initials with this particular person's name, right? So that I would know the name of the individual. So she kept it as MB. Okay? And when you're a TI and you're looking for proof of what's being done to you, sometimes you gotta, you know, listen, they invade our privacy every single day. They have no problem with invading our privacy. Even Pamela invades my privacy. Okay? And so I had to do what I had to do, and look what I found. Look at what I found. Okay? Well, that's it for the video. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the next video.